Ani in first grade. So this is your literacy time, and it's gonna look a little different today, on this fine April Monday. It's looking a little different because the document camera is not working. So you're gonna get to have me hold the book up for you while I read it to you. We'll see how this works. So the book that I picked for you is called The First Day, A Story of Courage, and I picked this book because our grandfather teaching this week is courage or bravery. And courage means facing your fears. And doing new things can be frightening. Learning something new for the first time can be scary, can feel really uncomfortable. And I want you to know that it is 100% normal and very okay to be afraid or worried or scared, nervous, anxious, frightened. All of those things are okay. Everybody feels them. Everybody in the whole wide world. Um, and you can really only show that you're courageous and brave when you are afraid. It's in those really hard times and those dark and scary moments when you are afraid. Courage is you choosing to do and say things in spite of how uncomfortable you are, in spite of how afraid you may be. That's really when you shine. That's really when you can show that you have courage. So I picked for you this story. And here we go. The First Day, A Story of Courage. This book was written by Katharina Vermette and illustrated by Irene Kizu. Mukwa has to go to a new school. He doesn't want to. Mukwa does not feel fine. He feels scared. He holds onto his mama. "You're going to be fine," she tells him. The hallways are long and dark and filled with big kids he doesn't know. The teachers all look tall and strange. The school is so big. It has dark brick walls and a huge door that Mukwa can barely open. "You're going to be okay," his mama says. But Mukwa doesn't feel okay. He feels scared. He doesn't let go of his mama. He doesn't want to. Oof, poor guy. New things are scary. She kneels down and looks him straight in the eye. "Remember when we moved to the city?" she asks, and Mukwa nods. "And the buildings were tall, and the streets were noisy, and all the kids were strangers?" Mukwa nods. "Well, now the buildings are normal sized, and all those kids are your friends, right?" she asks. "The streets are still noisy," Mukwa whispers. "Yes, they are. But after a while, you felt better about being here, right?" Mukwa nods, but he doesn't let go. So she tries again. "Remember when your sister was born and I had to go to the hospital?" Mukwa nods. "And you couldn't sleep because you were worried?" "Daddy forgot to turn the nightlight on," Mukwa adds. "Yes, he did. But what did you do?" "I asked him to turn it on." "You did. And everything was okay, right? Mukwa nods. See, she says, this is just like that. You have to be brave, and you can always ask for what you need. You'll feel better soon. Just wait. Mukwa starts to cry. But I'm scared, he says. Oh, that's okay, my boy, Mama tells him. Being scared is part of being brave. Told ya. She gives him a tissue and waits until he is ready. Then Mama walks him into class. She introduces him to the teacher. He is tall and strange and talks in a big, loud voice. He says his name is Mr. B, and he smiles. Mukwa feels a little bit better. He goes into the class. It's filled with a whole bunch of kids he does not know. They sit in a circle, and Mr. B calls out their names one by one. Some of the kids smile at Mukwa, and he feels a little bit better. Then the whole class goes outside, and a boy runs up to Mukwa. My name is Misabe, and this is Amik, he says. Hi, Mukwa says. Do you want to play tag? Amik asks, and Mukwa nods. And he feels almost all the way better. Almost. So, that's why I picked that book for today. What I would like you to do, now that you've heard one person's story of facing something new and doing it even though they were scared and did not want to do it, my challenge for you is I'd like you to write and draw about a time when you were afraid of a new thing. Something that when you were younger, it was new and scary for you. Maybe it was going to school for the first time, or starting an after school program for the first time. Maybe it was going to see the doctor, or going to a sleepover away from home. Maybe you were staying at a relative's house and you had to sleep somewhere strange and new. So I want you to think about what that thing was that you used to be scared of. And do you still fear this? Is this thing still scary for you? Or now it's normal because maybe you've done it more than once, or you've gone and realized, oh, that wasn't so bad. So I want you to think about it. I want you to think of a time when something used to be scary. And let me know. Is this still scary? Why? Tell me why. Tell me your thinking about why this is or is not scary. All right. Oh, I'm sorry I don't have my document camera. But if I was going to tell you about something that used to scare me, I would tell you that. I wonder if I can write it on this teeny tiny little post-it. So something that used to scare me a terrible lot was flushing the toilet. I was so scared of how loud that sound was. So if I'm going to write it for you, I put a little one on here, but I would say I'm actually going to switch because I think that pen is a little too narrow. I don't think you'll be able to see this very well if I write in that. So just say I was heart word, because I know I can't sound that one out. I was, sorry, that's supposed to be a heart. I was scared air, aired, scared of the, and it wasn't just the flush, it was how loud it was. The loud, loud, the loud flush, sh, flush. So I was scared of the loud flush. And am I still afraid of that? No. Absolutely not. I don't like how loud toilet flushes are, but I am very, very glad that toilets flush because the stuff that goes in toilets is gross and it should get flushed away every single time. But this was really hard for me when I was little. It was so scary to me. I didn't want to do it. And I can remember getting yelled at when I was little because I wouldn't flush the toilet. I would just run out of there and pretend that it wasn't me. So that is an old fear of mine. And gosh, it must have been really scary for me when I finally was like, no, I'm gonna do it and I am gonna flush every time now. But gosh, it was so long ago I can't remember actually having to teach myself to do it and be okay with the sound. I do remember, I do have memories of having to like reach for it and like quick flush and run. So I do remember that. So it took time, it took practice, and but that's it's not something I worry about so much anymore. I have different fears now that I'm older, but this was an old one. This is an old fear. So let me know about maybe an old fear you had, and let me know, is it still as scary as it was back then? Or is it not scary at all anymore? All right. Well, thank you for going with me on this brand new way of filming a book for you. I love you and I miss you, and I will see you in another video again real soon. Gigawaba mininim abanujiag.